call Kelvin Davis.
Chair, and it was refreshing to hear Minister Adams speaking earlier about the emphasis that the government's placing on domestic violence, and the Labour Party agree entirely with the importance of this issue. Our Labour Law and Order Caucus Committee has written to the Minister asking that we participate in an apolitical way to address this issue, and we look forward to the Minister taking us up on the offer to sit down and work out solutions around this issue. Not just domestic violence, Mr. Speaker, but sexual violence is an issue where only 5% of crimes are recorded. We need to do more to make sure that people have the strength and the courage to speak out. We need to make sure that we create the conditions where people feel that when they do speak out, that they will be heard, listened to, that their issues will be dealt with. We need to make sure that people will speak out regardless of whether they're survivors of sexual violence, whether they're observers of sexual violence, or whether, in fact, perpetrators of sexual violence. Wouldn't that be great if we could create the conditions where perpetrators spoke out about their problem before they actually created any victims? To quote or to take a line from the Madden Brothers song, we all need to be done being one of the silent many. We all need to learn to speak out and not put up with sexual violence in any way, shape or form. Mr. Chair, I'd just like to touch on a number of issues around corrections, and if I can have time, get on to some police issues. Issue number one around corrections was the absconding of Philip Trainer Smith from his police cell, basically from a work to release program over to South America. He was able, from the comfort of his police cell, to apply for a passport under an alias and then to abscond, go through Auckland Airport, get on a plane and have a bit of a jaunt over to South America. Mr. Chair, the issue there was that corrections and customs didn't actually share information around the fact that many people in prisons go under aliases, and so he was able to use an alias that he had been known under at another time to get his passport and then to abscond. And it's about government agencies and ministries, departments actually working together and sharing information, and I hope, sir, that the Minister has fixed that issue up. Then we also have the issue around prisoners from Australia who have been paroled, and once paroled, they're deported back to New Zealand. Sorry, I'm talking about New Zealanders in Australian prisons who are paroled and then they're deported back here. The issue raised its head earlier this year when a woman who participated in a murder in Australia some years ago was deported back to Kaikohe. And at the time, when I was approached by media, I said, look, it's obviously a loophole that has been found and needs to be addressed. But my concern isn't so much for this woman, who I don't think she poses a problem to the Kaikohe community, but what happens when a sexual offender is released on parole in an Australian prison and he's sent back here and we aren't able to track or trace them. We don't know whether that person is living next to a school or an early childhood centre, a kohanga reo, next to a park where children may be playing, is now a sports coach or a scoutmaster. We need to the government needs to make sure, sir, that we treat those paroled prisoners from Australia as if they were paroled from New Zealand prisons. Speaking of prisons, there have been the 3 recent partial closures of prisons at Rimutaka, at Awakeri and at Rangipo. Mr. Speaker, the member from New Zealand First is correct. 260 jobs have been lost. I know the government will say that those corrections officers may be able to go to the new prison at Wiri. Again, it'll be really difficult, I think, to sell your house in Tūrangi for probably $120,000 or $30,000. Shift up to Auckland, and where the average house price is $750,000. I think if you're a 55-year-old corrections officer, you wouldn't really want a remortgage to that extent. So it makes it really difficult. But the reality is that the prison at Wiri is a private prison. It cost $900 million to build, and the member from New Zealand First gave a different figure. I was told it was $900 million, built at the height of the recession. Serco, the company that is running the prison, has had the government...
Mr. Chair.
The Honourable Paseta Sam Lutuinga.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.